So today I'm going to talk to you about using Google Apps and in particular Google Drive. Once you have a Gmail, you can sign in, and you can see I've signed in here with my Gmail. It's got my picture and so on. Once you're in there into google.co.nz, you will see up the top a black band with all of these different tabs which you can look through and use. Now I'm going to run through those quickly so that you know what they're all for. The very first one, you can see it says +ly, is the Google Plus function, and if I click on that you'll be able to see it's kind of like Facebook, but I use this more for my professional work. You can join particular groups around professions, and you can make your own community on here, so it's quite handy. You can almost use it as a learning management system in your school if you want. So the next function is the search. Most of you will be very familiar with the search, but in case you aren't, I'll just show you the very latest thing you can do. You can search by voice, but you will also get an answer by voice. So I'll give you an example just by clicking on there. What is the height of Mount Everest? It stopped before I got a chance, so we'll try again. What is the height of Mount Everest?
Mount Everest is 29,029 feet tall.
So you can see that that's quite easy to do and will help those who are not so good at writing or spelling. They can actually speak into there. So considering the universal design for learning, if you're trying to encompass all of those students in your class, just try and remember that, get them to speak in if they're not so confident at writing. So Google search is a whole another world out there about Google search, but we won't go into that today. Google Images, very handy because I've forgotten about Mount Everest. It's giving me a whole lot of images. But just remember, when you use one of these images, they are not free to use. They belong to someone else, and this is the thing that you must teach your students as well. When you use an image, make sure that you are entitled to use it. That is, it's not under copyright, and that if you check and you are allowed to use it, that you attribute where it came from, so in your presentation or your document. Alright, back up the top, maps is another whole thing to play with. Now, most of you will be familiar with apps because most of you will have found somewhere on Google Maps. It's got a whole lot more functionality than that though. You can actually go to this part called My Places and make your own maps. If I click on that, you will see coming up are some of the maps that I have created, and so I can go back in. For example, last year I went to Wyoming and I have a whole map made up in there. I'm not going to load it up now because it takes a little while to load in. So I can go back and have a look back through those pictures and places. I have done one on my mountain, my river. I'll just see if I can find it. Yes, I can, and it's not so long to load up. And this one has got place marks on it, and if I click on that place mark, you can see, yes, that's where I've lived in my childhood. So you can make your own maps. Back to My Places once more. Anytime you want to make a new map, you just press on that button there called Create Map. Play. I know nothing about Play, so I'm not going to tell you anything about it. You'll have to look it up yourself. YouTube. When you have a Gmail, you also have a YouTube account. And the good thing about a YouTube account is that you can actually go in and you can make playlists. So if you're interested in one particular thing, you can add it to a playlist. So for example, if I look on here, you'll see that this is my playlist. I had quite a bit on plants. There's something about cultural foods. I did blogs on here. So any videos that you find and want to keep in one place so that they're handy, you don't keep them in your favourites up there in your browser, you keep them in YouTube. So that gives you another whole world. So back to Google again. There's YouTube. The news. News is pretty straightforward. You can go down the side, look at the world stories, or you can look at New Zealand stories, or stories about business, technology, or whatever. Gmail, another whole world in there. And this is just loading up my emails, and lots of different functionalities there. Drive is the next one. I'll come back to that in a minute. The calendar is also there, and so when you've got a Google Calendar, you can add other calendars. Like I've got my calendar in there. I've also got the booking calendar for the iPads. I've got my own personal calendar in there, so I can see stuff as I'm doing it from a variety of different calendars. And if I don't want what I'm doing in there, I can unclick it and it will not show. So display only this calendar or hide this calendar from the list. Under more, there is a whole lot more. In particular, Blogger, which is a great place to get your students to blog, and we'll go back to that another day. So back now to Drive, because Drive is the most exciting thing that you can use in your classes in terms of sharing and collaborating. So you can see when you open up Drive, I have got a whole lot of files down here in a big list. And you might not have a whole lot of files, and if you don't, it's because you haven't made one or no one has shared them with you. You can have files in your Drive, or you can click down on the shared with me and you'll see things that other people have shared with you will start to load up down there. I tend to, once they are in here, to actually move them into my Drive right there. So when I look down here, I can actually see the file type. So if it's a blue square, it will be a document, which is like a word processing document. If I see an orange square, I will know it's a presentation. If I see a W, I will know it's a Word document that I've uploaded. If I see a green square, it will be a form or a spreadsheet, which can be used for doing surveys. So here I've got some responses from a survey I did on ePortfolios. And you can see that's a form. A form is like a survey. Presentation is like PowerPoint, and a document is like a word processing program, Word. So, also when you go into your Drive, you will see when you go to create a new one, you can create a folder. So just like in on any computer, you can create a folder, and you might call that folder Tūraki, or you might call it Mrs. Smith's class, and have all of the documents in there. Or you could call it Susan Brown's work, Susan Jeff's work, and so on. So you could have a folder for every student if you wanted to. You can start with a simple document. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see it's an untitled document. How do I change its title? It tells me there in black. Just click to set the title. So click, and I'm going to call it a meeting about iPads. Oops, it's a meeting, and say OK. And you can see it's changed up there already. Just close that little research. Alright, so just like in any Word document, you can do your writing, and I'll probably just do a bit of writing here just to show you that it works. I've had the caps locks on, and I might say this is the agenda for the iPad meeting, and I could insert an image. I'm going to upload it. Choose an image to upload, and under pictures I think I have a picture of an iPad, so I'll have a look. No, not yet. There I go, it's an iPad mini, so I'm going to open that one and it will upload that particular picture. And there it is, and once again click on it, resize it, make it small if you like, and in line with the text or fixed position, it's up to you. We'll try fixed position, we might move it around to the middle there. Right, so you can insert pictures. What else can you insert? You can insert links, equations, drawings, tables, comments, and so on. So anything you like. Right, so that's just a normal document. At the moment, it's private to me. I am the owner of it. I just made it, so obviously I'm the owner of it. But when I'm ready to, I can share it with whoever I want to share it with. When you see, if I hover over there, it says, this is private only to me and only I can access it. But if I click on the blue button, I'll get another box come up. So here's the link to the document. So what it's saying is if you want to share it, you can. You could send some email, or through Facebook or Google Plus or Twitter you can share it. At the moment it's only the people listed below can access, and that happens to be me, the owner. So if I can change that and make it to anyone who has the link can access it, and anyone can view it. No, I want more than that. I want them to be able to comment. No, I want them to be able to edit it as well, so that it belongs to me, but anyone who has the link can edit it. And I can change that at any time if I think that's enough. I don't want anyone else putting anything in. I can change it to private, just to me. You can add people here, and I will show you an example of adding Angela, because I have her in my email addresses. And can she edit? Yes. No, I might just make Angela comment. No, I won't, Angela. I'm going to make you be able to edit. And I'm going to add a message to this. Angela, this is a trial document. And then I can send it off. Feel free to add to it, or ignore it. So save and share. And so now you can see that not only am I the owner, also Angela can edit it. And I can go back and add anyone who I want to at any time. So I'm done with that. So I can imagine that you're starting to think, this could be useful. It could be useful for staff meetings. It could be useful for syndicate meetings. It could be useful if I wanted to make an IEP for a student, and Johnny's dad is at home but he's got internet. The RTLB is in Hamilton but he's got internet, and I'm here in Taumaranui and I've got internet, so all three of you can actually be working on this document at the same time. So all you have to do is share it with them by email, give them the right permissions, and away you go. You could also use it for students if they were working on something, collaborating on a document. You can put 2 or 3 students working on the same document. You can put up to, I think it is about 20, but your wireless here at the moment probably won't handle it. So it'll be down the road when you've got ultra fast broadband. Okay, so where is that document? It's stored actually in the cloud. Now you can see up here it says all changes have been saved in the drive. The drive is in the cloud, so every change that you make is automatically saved in drive. You don't have to press any button that says save, 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 and you don't lose it because it's all up in the cloud. So if you go home and you haven't got the same computer, but you sign into your Google account, you can access that document by going to the Drive tab. I'll just show you how to go back to the Drive. So this is this one document, and you can see when I hover over that, a little arrow comes up, and that takes me back to the Drive. Now in the Drive you can see that mine is 1% full. I've got 15 gigabytes worth of storage in here. If you get Google Apps for Education, you get 30 gigabytes per person. So you can see now that document is up the top there, and I'm the owner of it. It was a meeting about iPads, and I can open that up anytime by clicking on it. What else can I create? I can create a presentation, which is like a PowerPoint. I can create a spreadsheet, a form, which is like a survey, a drawing, which I haven't used much, but apparently is very good for drawing, and you can insert your drawings into your documents later, as you would see before, and video notes. So if you are wanting to watch a video and take notes at the same time, you put your address in for your video, and a notes pad comes up, and the notes will appear here in your Drive. As with anything, you can make a new folder. So I could make a folder which I might call Tūraki and create it, and you can see it's turned up over here. And so I could decide, right, this one belongs to Tūraki, so I'm going to slide it over there, and in it goes. Alright, so that's about it for now. Don't want to go into too much more at the moment. I know you can see the potential.